Hello to all my yummy drummies out there, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to show you how to play the best parts, the coolest parts from the song City of Delusion by Muse, drummed of course by the legendary Tub Thumper himself, Dominic Howard. You can download the free PDF that comes with this lesson from my website. You'll find a link beneath this video. I've got the, 5 sections for you that really make up the meat of the song. You get these 5 parts down and you've basically got it. But they happen to be also really, really good fun to play in isolation on their own. Really great coordination exercises. And Dom manages to throw in his usual set of massive sounding tom drum fills that he loves to do, throwing in the bass drums in interesting places. All the classic Dom stuff that he's famous for. So the tempo is 120 BPM. The first beat I'm going to show you occurs at 41 seconds into the song. It takes about that 41 seconds before the drums come in. And what Dom is doing is he's playing quarter notes on the bell of the ride cymbal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now around that we've got a dance of bass drum and snare drum notes. And the first section occurs at 41 seconds, but then he changed it 57 seconds into the song, which we'll get onto in a second. But this first version of the drum beat is this. 1 E and a 2 and. So already we've got a lot of independence going on there. 1 E and a 2 and then 3 E and a, 3 E and a, and then 4 and. And when you put it together, you'll see how the bass drum and snare drum flow in a line of notes. We get 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and. That's the bass drum snare drum pattern being repeated underneath this steady quarter note bell. So we get this. 1, a 2 and 3 E 4 and 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 1. So let's hear it played up to speed without a microphone on so you can hear just the drums. Here we go. So then next, like I said earlier on, he changes the drum beat halfway through the verse. This one occurs at 57 seconds, and I don't think he plays it anywhere else in the song, just this one section at the beginning. It still follows that same sort of idea where we got this line of notes going across the bar underneath this quarter note bell ride cymbal, but it's slightly different, a little bit more complicated as well. So the first part of the drum beat, instead of getting 1 E and as we had before, we just get 1 E and a 2 and. So that rhythm, 1 E and a 2 and, still the same as the first drum beat, but it's just played differently between the bass drum and snare drum. On the and a 2 there, the snare drum. Then we come straight down with the bass drum on beat 3, 3, and then a 4 E and, a 4 E and. It's very low in the mix, but he's playing 2 bass drum notes there on the 4 and on the E of beat 4. So we get this 4 E and, a 4 E and, a 4 E and. And we play it with the right cymbal over the top. This is the challenge, of course. We get 1, a 2 and 3, a 4 E and 1, a 2 and 3, a 4 E and 1, a 2 and 3, a 4 E and 1, a 2, 1, a 2 and 3, a 4 E and 1, a 2 and 3. It's a lot of fun to play that. So here it is, up to speed without the old mic on. So this next section is definitely my favourite part of the song, for the drums anyway. It occurs at 1 minute 13. We get these band stabs going across on the crash cymbals, 1 E and a 2 and, following that same pattern we've had previously throughout the song. But then Don comes in with this tom and flam bass drum thing, starting on the E of beat 3. Now don't worry about counting it too much, you've got the song to help you. Dan, 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 ba 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 ba. You can sort of hear it in your head rather than have to count it. That's how I'm doing. I'm not going 1 E and a 2 and the E. I'm not coming in on the E. I'm hearing the melody instead. Dan, 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 ba 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 ba. But that ba 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 bit is played like this. Starting on the E of 3 again. He comes down the toms with his left hand. So this is kind of interesting. 3 E and a, 3 E and a, then into a snare drum on 4, 4 E. The bass drum then plays the E of 4, giving our hands time to go back to the toms to play and nicely up the toms, right, left, which rolls nicely into the next crash cymbal. So we get 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. This is a line of notes. And let's hear that up to speed. So then at 1 minute 31, Dom goes into this straighter drum beat where the snare drum backbeat falls on beat 2 and 4, but the bass drum is still dancing around the quarter note, giving it that sort of dotted 8th note feel every 3rd, 16th note. So feel free to throw in your own ghost notes with any of these drum beats, by the way, I certainly do. But what we got here is 1, a 2 and 3 E, 4, and there is a bass drum there on beat 4, so we get the bass drum playing 1, a 2 and the E, 4, 1, a 2 and the E. In isolation, my bass drum's just playing an even space set of notes. So when you're playing this, try to feel that. Look, focus down on your bass drum and try to focus on getting that to sound even. By the way, he might also be playing 8th notes, but he's accenting the downbeat really hard on the downbeat. He might be playing 8th notes on the crash cymbal. We might be playing something like this. Well, you can't really hear the ands, but he's playing them just to keep himself in time. He might just be playing quarter notes. Most of the time, you're not going to hear the difference. That wash is that downbeat, the accent's too loud for really to hear the ands. So, basically what I'm saying is to play at quarter notes, you can play at 8th notes when it comes to the crash cymbal section. The ride cymbal, you want to keep at quarter notes because that's very staccato, you can hear every single note. Anyway, let's hear that up to speed. And then finally, we've got a tour de force. Is that the phrase? Tour de force of a drum beat slash fill solo section, which is a lot of fun to play. It reminds me of a lot of other drum beats from other songs, including other Muse songs, of course. It's a pattern that I just naturally learned over the years without realising it's been used in so many places. What we get is, to start off with, snare and crash, 1 E, and again that bass drum is being used to take up a space so our hands have time to move to a different set of drums on the kit. That bass drum is very useful to do that. It also sounds cool because you've got a continuous line of 16th notes. 1 E, which then gives us time to play and 2, followed by the bass drum, E, and then snare drum and floor tom. What you see in a second is your right hand is basically maintaining 8th notes all the way through. And then similar for beat 3, 3 E and into a flam, 4 E, and then ends with and maybe slightly flammed. You can certainly flam those 2 notes at the end. On the recording, I think it's played flat, 4 and So slowly, this is where this is the test really, being able to play all in a line. We get 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and And once you start to play, you'll see that your right hand is maintaining 8th notes and the left hand is playing. That's what I mean by it's a very common pattern. Where you're playing groups of 3/16th notes through the bar, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and. So slowly once again, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. And it loops back to snare and crash at the beginning. And I mixed up a flam there accidentally. And then finally, let's hear that up to speed. So if you've got any questions about any of that, feel free to email me, rob@drumstheword.com, and I'll be happy to help. Don't forget to download the free PDF that came with this lesson. Again, you'll find a link beneath this video. And then while you're at my website, you might also want to consider signing up to become an online member. That's really what I do these lessons for, to promote my subscription service at the website, where for $97, you sign up and I give you a full year's access to the entire website. That's over 350 full song lessons where I teach you a song from start to finish, every single note, every single bar. And like I said, I've got over 350 full song lessons, unlike this lesson which I've just taught the main parts, already on the website. As a thank you for signing up for that $97, I give you access to hundreds more little videos teaching you many, many famous drum beats, fills, and even drum solos. I give you 3 ebooks I've written over the years containing, guess what, hundreds more famous drum beats, fills, and solos. And then over the year of your subscription, you also gain instant online access to all the new material that I upload for my members. And I record every week unless I'm ill or on holiday. So you've got lots of cool stuff to look forward to in the future of your subscription. And if you want to go over to my Facebook page, then you also get a chance to influence what songs get taught. This song was suggested over on my Facebook page. I ask my followers regularly, once every month or so, what they want for their future song lessons, and then other followers get to vote on it, and the most popular songs get chosen for future song lessons. So if you want to influence what songs get chosen, then please go over to my Facebook page. You'll find a link beneath the usual places, or just type in Drums the Word into Facebook and you'll find me. But if you've got any questions about any of that, then feel free to email me, rob@drumstheword.com. And until our next drum lesson together, toodle pip and happy drumming to you.